here's what you need to know to start the week. Beginning with some interesting news coming out of Governor Greg Abbott's visit to the hub city yesterday regarding the future of Texas Tech and the next legislative session. In case you missed it, Governor Abbott campaigned in front of a couple hundred Lubbock residents at Kegel Steaks yesterday afternoon. And in addition to the usual talking points on the economy, the border, the Biden administration, he also reiterated some big plans he says the legislature has in store for Texas Tech. Lubbock State Representative Dustin Burrows joining him on the stage to announce a new $1 billion endowment they want to propose to the legislature next year. Take a listen to what they said yesterday.
There is more that we can do to elevate Texas Tech University. And so what Dustin and I began working on during the last session, that we got great support even from the chairman of House Appropriations, and something that I think we can continue to work on and pass this next session. I want the state of Texas to create an endowment for Texas Tech University of $1 billion to elevate the university even more. Dustin and I, we're going to work on that. As high as Texas Tech may have ranked now, you're going to be ranking higher. We want the university to rank academically as high in the polls as your basketball team. That is my goal.
Now, Texas Tech has always long sought more funding from the legislature, but in a 150-member House with just 2 representatives from Lubbock and a 31-member Senate with just 1 senator, other universities have always gotten a bigger share, and this endowment will be an uphill climb. Although Governor Abbott says the House Appropriations Chair is on board, and he's optimistic the legislature can give him a bill to sign by next May. But that brings us to a much bigger target for Texas Tech, the Permanent University Fund. That's the $30 billion fund enshrined in the Texas Constitution since 1876 that uses money generated from 2 million acres of West Texas land and oil to fund public higher education. But that money only goes to the University of Texas and Texas A&M systems. Texas Tech has long wanted a slice of that pie, and Governor Abbott's challenger, Beto O'Rourke, told us when he campaigned here in January that he is adamantly in favor of amending the fund to give Tech some of that money. When I asked Governor Abbott about his plans for the Permanent University Fund yesterday, he says the odds of that getting amended are close to zero, and said his plan to create a new endowment is the better option.
What Beto wants to do, he wants to take the current pie and slice it thinner. What I want to do is to grow the size of the pie, which is exactly why I came out here and said something that Representative Burrows and I worked on this last session that we expect to get passed next session, and that is to add $1 billion for the endowment of Texas Tech. That would almost double the endowment of Texas Tech and help it climb the ladder. Let me tell you why that's far easier to get passed. That just requires a majority of votes, whereas to alter the way the PUF fund works would require a constitutional amendment. So my plan is far greater likely to pass, and also increases the size of the pie.
You don't find it likely that the PUF fund will be amended this next session?
I would say the chances of that happening is about 0. However, the chances of being able to increase the endowment for Texas Tech is extremely high.
Now, he is right. He goes on to say that the odds of that being amended are about 0. And that's right. Giving some of that PUF money to Tech would be a very high bar to clear. We'd have to amend the Texas Constitution, and that requires support from 2/3 of the House and the Senate and approval from a majority of Texas voters. But we'll keep you updated as the conversation evolves around this and all of Texas Tech's future in the next legislative session, which begins in January.